Hello, my name is Jared Winningham, and I'm here to give my informational speech number 2, about Kangals. What has a 743-pound bite and can run 30 miles an hour? You may be thinking a wolf or some crazy other animal. It's actually a Kangal, which is a dog. I have 2 Kangals, Cash and Kilo. Many people don't know about Kangals. I didn't know anything about them, never even heard of them until I got the 2 dogs. They're from Turkey. Not a lot of people know about them in the United States, so it's very common not to, when I say I have a Kangal, people don't know anything about them. So I'm kind of here to give some information because I think they're amazing dogs. The purpose of this speech, of course, is to inform about Kangals, and my 3 main points about these Kangals are their breeding, how they're bred, because it's very important how they're bred, their protection, how they protect, and they're just general facts and myths that I want to kind of fix. First off is their breeding. They have been bred. This is Kilo's dad, or Kilo and Cash, both dogs, James. This is Kilo's dad, very big size Kangal. He's a full bred Kangal. And this is Kilo's mom, who is an Anatolian Shepherd and Kangal mix. And this is little Kilo right here. These dogs are very dark when they're first born, which is kind of interesting. And they become much more lighter. This is Kilo right here in the blue collar. They've been bred for 900 years, since the 12th century over in Turkey. They are Turkey's national dog, according to allthingsdogs.com, which just goes to show you how much the Turkish people love them. You will see them all over the place. You don't see many dogs other than the Kangal in Turkey. The reason why they are bred is for livestock guardian dogs. They are amazing at guarding dogs. They just, not guarding dogs, but guarding other animals. They just love it. They automatically feel the right to protect other animals. That's just how they are. That's the way they've been bred. The first Kangal came to the United States in 1985, so they have not been around here very long, which would kind of show you why not many people know about them. That's some of the breeding. I can't really think of much else to talk about the breeding. Next is their protection purposes, which is literally the #1 way. The reason why they're being here, because they are the best protection dogs you can think of. This is a Kangal right here over in Turkey. They protect sheep. It's about 10 or so sheep. He's bloody all over his neck and face because he has probably just fought a wolf, and thankfully he has fended off the wolf. I don't know if he's killed it or not, but they have humongous spiked collars that allow a huge advantage, but they also are great fighting dogs for protection. The spiked collars, when a wolf would try to bite it, clearly it's not going to bite nails. So it does give the Kangal a huge advantage, but at the end of the day, the Kangal does fend off pretty dang well. According to canineweb.com, like I said, the Kangal has a 750-ish pound bite. For example, humans have around 150-pound bite, and pit bulls, which I've seen bite through pork chop bones and other bones with ease, have a 275-pound bite. So over 2 times the amount of a pit bull is what you find in a Kangal, which gives it the ability to fight wolves and to fight really whatever it wants to fight. Around 2 to 3 of these dogs can protect 250 animals, which is a great ratio, and that's why they're so renowned, because people that have thousands of animals, they only need about 10 or so of these dogs to roam and protect all of the dogs that they need to protect. Or not protect the dogs, protect the livestock, I'm sorry. They've been bred for almost 2,000 generations, so 900 years, they almost have about two litters a year, so around 2,000 generations. So they've been able to perfect the right amount of everything, the right dog for everything. So they've got a great breeding history. Lastly, we'll talk about the general facts and the myths that kind of need to be debunked. Kangals are not very aggressive towards people at all. It's kind of crazy, the gentle giant term, because they are gentle giants. They will come up to you and you think, I've seen people run from them, and my dog will run after them and just want to be pet. They just want to see how that person's going to act. They're very standoffish at the same time. My dog Kilo is not standoffish, but my other dog Cash is. He'll come up to he won't even go up to you. He'll just look at you at the corner of his eye, kind of see how you're acting, and then he'll judge you off how you're acting first. According to Vetal Onar, they are 34 inches on their hind legs and almost 6 feet tall when they're on their hind legs. All 4 legs are 34 inches. So when my dog Kilo stands up, he comes up to my shoulders now, and huge dog. He's about 160 pounds. CertaPet says that the only health problem they have is hip dysplasia, which is kind of serious, but at the same time, compared to some other health problems, it's not that crazy. So they are very healthy dogs. PetGuide.com gives them a 12 to 15 year lifespan, which is amazing for bigger dogs, because a lot of big dogs die very young. So it's great that these dogs have very little health problems and they last so long, and that's why they've been bred for thousands of years. According to dogbreedinfo.com, their temperament is, like I said, very calm for how big they are. Now, they can go from 0 to 100 if the opportunity presents itself. I've seen them just be chilling, but if another dog comes up and they're barking and trying to mark their territory, the dog will get up and try to protect himself. This is my Kilo right here. This is when I first got him. He's about 6 weeks old. Very small, fits in about the forearm of my arm. Has a darker complexion, but he's soon going to grow out of that. This is him about 4 months old, 5 months old. Already a humongous sized dog, pretty big. At this point, he was probably up to here on his hind legs. And lastly he's gotten bigger since this. This is actually a pretty decently old picture, about a year old. So he's a year older than this. So he's gotten a little bit filled out. Huge dog, and a great temperament. He's just chilling with the boys. Really, he's really just hanging out. Great dogs for just. They say that they can almost be your roommate rather than a pet, because they will literally follow you around. They just want to hang out, make sure you're doing well, make sure you're protected. They just really love to protect. In conclusion, the purpose of this was to inform about Kangals because they're very unknown in America. My main point summary would be the brain fart. The breeding history of them, the protection, why they're so good at protection, and then there's the general myths and the general facts that present itself with the Kangals. The Kangal can run 30 miles an hour and has a 750-pound bite. And if you don't believe me, come over to my apartment, try to rob me, and then run off and see what my Kangal does, because I guarantee you, you're not going to like it. Thank you.